Few 90s sitcoms were as iconic and beloved as Home Improvement. It ran for 8 seasons on ABC from 1991 to 1999. In the process, the Taylor family, with comedian Tim Allen as its patriarch, became like extended members of our families. While the show wasn't exactly a critical success, it soared in the ratings for much of its run and racked up a number of awards and accolades. Tim Allen went on to star in the Santa Claus series of films. For all you holiday fans out there, you'll be pleased to know the latest entry in the franchise, The Santa Clauses, just premiered on the streaming service Disney+. On television, Allen also portrayed Max Baxter in the ABC Fox sitcom Last Man Standing from 2011 to 2021. Over the years, Allen has repeatedly teased a Home Improvement reunion, but as of yet, nothing close to what fans have been clamoring for has come to fruition. Even so, die-hard Home Improvement fans haven't given up hope. Join Factsverse as we present Tim Allen confirms why Home Improvement Reboot hasn't happened yet. Allen breaks his silence. Speaking with E! News ahead of the November 16, 2022 release of The Santa Clauses, Allen revealed that we just might not have seen the last of the beloved 90s sitcom. That being said, fans of the program shouldn't get too hyped up just yet. While Allen hasn't fully ruled out a Home Improvement of some kind, he did make it clear that he believes that Tim Taylor's storyline just might be over for good. According to Allen, the cast and crew of Home Improvement have long been open to a potential reboot, but from Tim's perspective, he always imagined such a project materializing in the form of a short film produced for charity. He also noted that scheduling conflicts have been one of the most significant reasons why a reboot has yet to see the light of day. Allen went on to say that in his eyes, Tim Taylor has already continued on TV in his Last Man Standing sitcom. As anyone who has watched that series before knows, the character of Mike Baxter was remarkably similar to Tim Allen's Tim the Toolman Taylor role. Instead of hosting a popular DIY tool-centric talk show, Baxter ran his Outdoor Man vlog, covering all things sporting goods adjacent and anything else that happened to come to his mind. Quote, Tim Taylor graduated in the TV world into Mike Baxter, Allen explained. He continued by adding that his previous character was kind of a gag. In fact, Tim Taylor showed up on Last Man Standing on one occasion during a dream sequence. Allen brought up a valid point when he told E! News that he didn't know if Tim Taylor was still relevant in this day and age. If you go back and watch Home Improvement, it's obvious the show was very much so a product of its time. While Tim's wife, Jill, was depicted as somewhat of a progressive feminist, the rest of the cast, with the exception of the sagely neighbor Wilson, really reflected the common values and gender roles that were the norm in the 90s. Tim Taylor was oozing in male bravado despite being a bit of a hapless buffoon at times. While his story might be kaput, Allen thinks a reboot that instead focuses on his sons, Brad, Randy, and Mark, played by Zachary Ty Bryan, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and Taryn Noah Smith, might work. Allen expressed his desire to see what those boys were like as adults and what they ended up doing with their lives. Reboot rumors already made headlines. In 2018, Allen told E! News that the series was at one point close to making a comeback, but added the plan had gotten derailed when Last Man Standing began airing. Apparently, about a decade ago, the cast and crew of Home Improvement had already entered into talks discussing a potential reboot or sequel series. But for one reason or another, it never quite felt right. The timing was off, and no one's schedules seemed to be open enough to allow such a project to get off the ground. In 2021, when Home Improvement was celebrating its 30th anniversary, Tim Allen and his former co-star Richard Karn told Today that they were more than ready to do a reboot. According to both stars, if the stars were aligned just right, they would jump at the opportunity. Allen told the outlet he'd love to see where Al and Tim ended up and whatever became of Tool Time. Karn, who played Al Borland, was more adamant in his enthusiasm for a new series. When asked if he would reprise his role, he responded with a spirited, "Absolutely." After Karn expressed his excitement, Allen held up a figurine of his Buzz Lightyear character and quipped that he had gotten just a little buzz. Karn followed up with a witty retort of his own by joking in tongue-in-cheek fashion that Allen had been upstaging him for over 30 years. Although fans of Home Improvement have yet to see Allen and Karn reunite on the set of Tool Time, the duo did reunite in their History Channel reality competition, Assembly Required, which premiered in 2021. In 2022, the series was rebranded with the Home Improvement-inspired name More Power. Tim Allen turned down millions for Home Improvement Season 9. Before signing on for Home Improvement, Tim Allen had been offered sitcoms based around hit movies like Turner and Hooch, but instead of going with any of those, he chose to focus his efforts on a sitcom based on his stand-up routine. Home Improvement was originally billed in pre-production as Hammer Time. It focused on Tim Taylor's family life, as well as his home improvement program, Tool Time. Since the majority of the show revolved around Taylor's home life, we got to see how characters like Tim's wife Jill, played by the lovely Patricia Richardson, grew and developed through the show's progression. Simply put, Tim and Jill, along with their 3 sons, had a tremendous amount of on-screen chemistry. As the series went on, we came to fall in love with all of these characters while developing a deep interest in their various passions and dreams. Home Improvement stumbled upon just the right formula to make everything work. And throughout its 204-episode run, it enjoyed remarkably high ratings. At its peak, the series was pulling in ratings of more than 30 million viewers. While those numbers eventually dipped towards the end of its run, Home Improvement was still a reasonable hit with viewers until its final season. After airing 8 seasons, Home Improvement came to an end in 1999. The last official episode was the TV special Backstage Pass. In that episode, the audience finally got a chance to see the face of Taylor's mysterious next-door neighbor, Wilson. In a 2002 Biography Channel special, Home Improvement: A Half Hour of Power, it was revealed that the cast was beginning to grow bored with the show towards its end. Richardson was quoted as saying she believed the series had run through pretty much every possible storyline by then. Regardless, the network was still quite keen on keeping it going. They even offered the leads an enormous payday if they committed to a 9th season. Allen was offered $50 million, while Richardson was offered $25. Obviously, despite all those zeros, both stars rejected the offers. Richardson later told E.T. in 2020 that at the time, she was ready to move on from the show. ABC and Allen pressured her to stay, but she wasn't having it. It was apparently only after ABC floated the idea of killing off Jill as a way of keeping the show going that Allen finally decided to call it quits as well. The Taylor kids had rough lives. At this point, you might be wondering what happened to the actors who played the Taylor boys. As it turns out, they've had some rough patches in their life. In 2012, Taron Noah Smith, the actor who played the youngest Taylor boy, Mark, was charged with DUI and possession of an illicit substance. He also ended up defying his parents' wishes by marrying a woman 16 years older than he was when he was 17. Ultimately, the couple divorced after 5 years. When Smith's family expressed disapproval of his marriage, he accused them of misappropriating his money to purchase a mansion for themselves. This conflict led Smith and his family to be estranged for a number of years. But fortunately, it seems as if they've worked out their issues and have rekindled a loving relationship. In October 2020, police arrested Zachary Ty Bryan, the actor who played Brad Taylor, on several charges, including felony strangulation, misdemeanor 4th-degree assault, and interfering with filing a police report after an altercation with his girlfriend in their Lane County, Oregon apartment. In February 2021, he pled guilty to 2 of those charges, while the remaining 6 were dropped. He was sentenced to 3 years probation and ordered to attend a batterer intervention program. Fortunately, Jonathan Taylor Thomas hasn't had to deal with nearly as much drama. That being said, seeing as how his last acting credit was a 2015 episode of Last Man Standing, it seems as if his Hollywood career has all but stalled. Now it's time to hear from you. Would you be interested in seeing a Home Improvement reboot? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.